everybody, can I have your attention, please? We'd like to know what you thought about today's ceremony, how you think it went, and what does it mean that you were here. So, anyone want to start first?
I can say something. I feel like it was an amazing event, but it shouldn't stop there. I wanted to see a proper burial for those enslaved African Americans in that site. That's what we should be fighting for. That's what we should be pushing for, and that's what I'm going to stand with.
America has a debt to pay. I mean, they don't want to talk about it because it's too painful. I mean, it's painful for us.
Right, and this is an example that will lead continuously, not just Staten Island, throughout the country, that African Americans, right, are buried anywhere they want to bury them and forgotten about.
You're right, because it's not only happening here,
It's
it
not
happens
just
all
here.
over the country.
It's all over the country.
I'm sure this is not the only family that or stories existing over. I'm sure of that.
Right.
To find out that you have a relative that was a slave and that fought in, what was the war? 1812 war for his master. And then he was buried under a strip mall where they just disregarded him.
What happened was sinful, shameful, a part of our history that was denied us. Wiped out, and that we were so insignificant that they could do that to the ancestors, and then by doing that to the ancestors, they did it to us. Right? They did it to the descendants, and there's something very, very wrong with that picture, and we need to have some answers and some accountability.
New York City needs to be held accountable for what happened at Cherry Lane Cemetery.
That's right.
They are the ones who manipulated the situation and took that land
Yep.
for taxes, for back taxes. And so everybody that went past there today was wondering what was going on.
5 people after came up to me, what's going on here? And I had to explain it over and over. It's a groundswell. We are rewriting the history right now. And we are in position to right the injustices. So we got to look at this as a rallying call, not just for the few of us, but the community at large.
What we're doing here, what David's talking about, is so amazing. You know, I love you. That is bigger than us, and we cannot undermine each other or the movement because it really stifles the progress. I don't care where I fit as long as I'm part of it and I'm part of moving things forward. But wherever you are, wherever you're great at, find it in this movement, in our community, and go and stay in that lane and drive it to the wheels fall off.
Get in where you fit in.
Amen, sister.
For us not to fight hard and not to continue to this struggle to make sure
and an insult to them.
It absolutely would be. Look at the descendants here. They're all accomplished. That was because they built upon the foundation that the ancestors laid for them. They suffered. It's generational trauma.
Yeah, that's right.
And it's
So when you
so
hear someone
important.
say, well,
Genetics.
that happened years and years ago, we had nothing to do with it, you can say BS.
We live it every
That's
day.
right.
Every day I'm reminded that I'm black, living here on Staten Island. Every day something reminds me that I'm black. I'm not as I'm not accepted in all circles. I'm not as good. I'm not as smart. I'm not as whatever. And part of that is because there's no connectivity. They often talk about how black people have hypertension and diabetes and high cholesterol because of what we eat. That is a contributing factor, but it is the stress that we live every day. And it's the everyday that we deal with systematic racism, we deal with injustices, we deal with micro biases and microaggressions, and it every day. It's like they don't see us in our totality.
That's right.
Because our story hasn't been told.
That's right.
I think that a lot has been said so far, and I don't want to repeat everything. I concur with everything that I've heard to this point. The one thing I do know that we do need to have an education. Growing up on Staten Island and not having any idea about slavery in Staten Island is crazy. We need to teach history on Staten Island. We need to teach the history in Brooklyn. We need to teach the history in New Caledonia and teach it to the people in the area so that they know they're not just reading about something that happened down south. Slavery was down south. The slaves went north and they were free. Okay, that's not really all true. Since slavery was right here where I live, and I'm pretty far north.
When I was in high school, we never talked about slavery. It was about down south, and Abraham Lincoln freed the slaves, and so a lot of slaves came up north from Georgia and everything like that. Teach your children.
That's right. Let your children know the truth.
Not like when I went to school. Like I said, Abraham Lincoln freed the slaves.
That was about it.
Come on.
Thank you. That was your history lesson.
You know?
It's ridiculous. They are out of control. It's ridiculous. And we really need to, I'm sorry. I mean, I didn't mean to go on like that,
Because I appreciate the blueprint. I'm an 8th generation direct descendant to the first free black on Staten Island. I'm appreciating this entire process right here, right now, because this is an anointed, respected, and appointed conversation in this space for a very specific purpose, right? So that I can be an agent of change for the community and for the world, for them to see, like, these little people are, like, fighting. No, we're not little people. We were the first.
Today is the beginning. We have a lot of work to do. We, in support of the family, want to shape what the place will now look like, right? We know what the history is, and now we are in position to really drive the narrative moving forward. And we have to be resilient in the way that we do it, and we have to be collaborative in the way that we do it, because it becomes a collective.
I support 100% what you said, David. If there's anything I can do to help you get to the root of why your family was disrespected as it was, I would work with you if you would choose to have me work with you.
Yeah, it'll happen. It'll happen when we make it happen. If enough people get behind this and make it happen, it will happen.
We're the most forgiving race of people that's out here. Honest. I don't know any other races that have gone through what we have generationally, generation after generation, and still believe that, you know, a better day is coming.
I just want to add, we are our ancestors' wildest dreams and imagination. We must remember this. We are our ancestors' wildest dreams come true. So please, we've got to make this happen. Seriously. So when is the next meeting?